watching the most unique automotive channel on YouTube, the Hoosier Garage.
Alright, so I got enough of that in there. We got a plate on it, and I've been driving it up and down our street a little bit. Start right up. Alright. Spray out, I'll open the sunroof because it's hot, like I said. Some air. It's getting kind of breezy out. I'm going to go around the carport here. Manual steering, remember that. Now we're on the street. I'll show you a little bit of that here in a second. Holding down evenly on the gas, it shifts 1, 2, but I don't really have enough room to do that any further. For it again. It's basically just a weird vehicle, you know, not it specifically, but just being in something new or just different by itself. I've done this a handful of times, but it's just getting used to it. I'm at the end of the street, so it's good to have this road like this. Here's the pump on the transmission. It's in reverse. Back into my driveway. I'm going to do this maybe one more time. Get the feel for it. Make sure we're not cutting out or anything. The only bad thing about this street is it goes out onto a highway, a state highway, or they call it a county road now. And it's a little busy this time of day. There's a little stall, but a little tuning probably. Needs fixed. When I do that, it does that little hesitation right there. Up here. Gust of wind. See the cars going by. We got some pretty good traffic out here, so I'm gonna try to let it clear real good. That's usually the smartest thing to do. I'm not real sure about it yet. More sure than I was, that's for darn certain. This road sucks sometimes. They're all spaced just to where you can't quite get out on time. I think we got a moment here. See that little hesitation, that's why I want to make sure that we're not in trouble. This little road is right here. I got that field behind my house. Little sputter. What we got? So far, so good, guys and girls. All 800 plus of you. See, I go left or right. Left, I don't prefer. It's kind of narrow back there, so I'm gonna go back here. There's a local middle school. It's part school, part industrial. Good test area. I do think we need to adjust something on maybe the carburetor or the timing there. It's kicking out. You might see over there to the left, looks like an old Galaxy hardtop. gauge actually might be working. I just had so little gas in it, which I thought I had quite a bit, but that was based on those 5-gallon bottles, and I'd let it run a lot, so. I'm just gonna drive around for a bit, see how we do. I'll keep you on if anything interesting happens. I'll prize you of that. Cable. I need to get my E-cable back up in here. I'll try to get out here out of the way right now. That'll do. That'll do. Looks good on this side so far. Good.
And now, a classic Indiana car commercial.
Hi, I'm Tim Richmond, and this is an original poster of my Indianapolis 500 career created by racing artist Ron Burton. This poster is now available for $5 at your 40 Guarantee Auto stores throughout Indiana. I hope you will follow my racing progress throughout May as I drive the Guarantee Auto WTTV special in this year's Indianapolis 500, the greatest spectacle in racing.
Alright, so a couple weeks later, like it says, some things have transpired. The stalling issue, the little thing when we would take off, backing out. I remember before I rebuilt the carburetor, it had a really thick, and I'm talking like 3/8 of an inch thick base gasket. The one that came with the carburetor was like 1/8 of an inch thick, if that. Seemed like no matter what I did, when it was cold, it would do that. It would cut out on me. So I thought maybe I should put that back in because it might have something related to the choke. Because the distance of the choke when it travels, it may have been too far with it setting further down. And that was the only thing I think it really would have affected. I have been driving it on the road. Sorry I didn't take you all along. And I'm talking outside of the industrial park. And the industrial park's back here kind of behind my house. But now we're going to take it out so you can see it on the road. The real road with traffic, stoplights, all that good stuff. And you get your little bumps here. Back doors rattle. There's no gaskets on there, so we're taking that into account. I'm thinking it's driving pretty good.
We're experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
And that's for editing, right?
Right.
So I don't have a speedometer hooked back up yet. Limit down through here is 30. And we're trucking about 45 right here. Really smooth. We got that little bit of play in the steering wheel, which I kind of expected that being an old steering box. It's manual, you know, we talked about that in the a couple weeks ago. The brakes are really good here in traffic. That's probably the best upgrade we did is put the 77 brakes on there, which they're not too different from the 72 disc brake, because it was drums originally. We're going to take it up the highway here for a bit. Hopefully you can kind of enjoy the ride. I went through a drive-thru like a hamburger joint the other day, and it got a little warm. It got up to around 220, but then once I took it off, it backed right down to about 195, 200. So I'm really surprised it's the original radiator, or at least the radiator that's been in all these years that it's set. So I'm pretty happy with that. Voltage is always good, or the alternator. Gas gauge is pretty honest, it seems like. Other than that, we're going to jump here on the interstate here in a minute. Make this turn, got to slow down a little bit for the body roll. Got good acceleration now. Got that base gasket back on there. A little bit of tuning. They got a big super double truck stop up here. This is one of the big off the ramp at a 45-mile-an-hour clip. You feel that tightness in the wheels. So this is definitely an old school kind of a ride with the steering like this. I mean, you feel it. It ain't super loose like a power steering will be, where it has no feeling. But I think we've done real good. We've been really blessed with this thing to be in good shape. We just had to rebuild the suspension, mainly in the front, the steering, put some brakes on it. But we got a good engine transmission. Of course, we changed the gear out in the rear. That was more of a necessity than really any kind of mechanical failure or anything. So we hope you enjoyed the video of us driving around in this thing. The initial stages of, real careful with it, and on the little back road, and then ultimately out in the city streets, and then on the interstate. So I think we're ready for the next step and trying to get everything painted here, get all the other little quirks taken care of. And hey, thanks for coming to the Hoosier Garage. See you next time.
Thank you for watching the Hoosier Garage. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more restoration, tips, and fun.